Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am doing another Confessions of a Christian Woman for you, and I am in better spirits. I'm not as serious. Although I might get serious because that's just what happens when I start talking. I want to talk to you today about supernatural strength. I wanted to say supernatural power, but I'm going to narrow it more down to strength because strength is really what you need in life to get through life, and that's really what I'm constantly asking God for in this time. And also affirmations and direction. Another thing I want to say before we get into this is that I really wanted to make this a general video for everyone. And of course, everyone is welcome to watch this. But the more that I thought about what I wanted to talk about, the more I realized that I kind of have to go by my own experience and my own journey of life. And my experience is through God and His direction, His affirmations, His peace. Without Him, I wouldn't be able to share my story. So that being said, I'm going to share just some of the moments that God has spoken to me and why they're so important and why it's so important to hold on to the affirmations God gives you, to seek for them, to keep your eyes open for them, and also constantly ask for direction. And with all of that, you're going to have a supernatural strength. Yeah, I've only experienced a couple of times where God really spoke to me in a powerful, powerful way. And so I want to share them with you. So, first time I felt God gave me an affirmation gate and spoke to me. As you guys know, I met my husband when I was 14, he was 15, I'm now 29, he's 31. And we went to the same junior high school. And yeah, so when we first met, we dated silly. It was a silly puppy love thing. And you know, as time went on, you know, we weren't together anymore and we, you know, we're doing our own thing. But once we reached high school, I will never forget this. It was one of my friend's sweet 16s, and a bunch of us were there. We were having a great time. We were dancing and stuff, and he was there. And later on that night, we were really immature, and we were prank calling people. So we ended up prank calling him, and I guess knowing how stupid I was and like immature and I don't know, just who I am, he knew it was me. He didn't say it then, but the next day he called me and he was like, "Did you prank call me last night?" "Yeah, how'd you know?" Anyway, we ended up talking on the phone all night till like 5 in the morning or something. And that's the moment I was like, I feel like he's the type of person I can marry. Even actually before, at the Sweet 16, I was thinking in my head, like, just how he is, something about him. So anyway, I felt something about him, even though he was not the person he is today. There was just something in him that I had never seen in any other guy before, and I knew there was something special about him and a connection, and more than obviously attraction, physical attraction. So I just felt something in my heart. I felt that that could be a possibility. And as time went on, a little bit more time went on, you know, God actually gave me a promise that I would marry him. Even beforehand, God gave me a promise that I would marry someone that I would meet in my late teens, early 20s, that this is the person I'll be with forever, gonna have a healthy, happy marriage, and, you know, as long as I live my life according to God. I know it seems a little like, really? How did that happen? You know, how did God promise you that? But I can't get into everything. This video is gonna be too long, but basically it turned into a promise. And throughout the years later, you know, ups and downs, we had broken up, he had messed up, he'd done a lot of things, he was, you know, needed so much growth, so much things that he had to experience. You know, we thought we were gonna get married right out of high school, and, you know, I was so sure of it because God told me, you know, I'm gonna marry this person. Literally 10 years later, or 10 plus years later, we finally got married. But, you know, we had a long period of time that I had to suffer, basically, you know, like I had to experience time alone. I had to experience frustration. I had to experience no one believed that I was going to marry him. You know, like to everyone, they probably thought I was nuts, you know, and I knew it still, regardless of anything. I knew I was going to marry him. I would write it in my journal. I'd pray about it. I would constantly be praying for him, constantly be praying for the situation. But there was a lot of heartache and a lot of times where I said, what is going on? Why do I have to go through this? You know, what did I do? And why do I have to wait for him? You know, why do I have to wait for all this time? Why can't I find someone else, like, to date? You know, like, even though I knew in my heart I was going to marry him, like, I just wanted to have fun and I wanted to, you know, experience like a happy relationship and just like be normal. And I had to like be single, and I was lonely, I was frustrated, I was doubtful. So in this period of time, especially this particular month, was really rough on me, and I was just asking God, why? Like, is this really going to happen? Am I really going to marry this guy? Or am I nuts? Like, and I happened to get something in the mail. It was from my church, and it was, I guess, a newsletter. And at the bottom of the newsletter, I mean, it had absolutely nothing to do with what they were talking about. It said, P.S. God told us to tell you to keep a firm grip on the promises that he gives you, because he always keeps his word. Hebrews something. I actually have it here. I kept it all these years later, and I put it in my wedding binder. I'm looking at it. That's why I'm looking away. Some of you may be familiar with this from my wedding diaries. Here, it's right at the bottom. You have this yellow piece of paper. P.S. God told us to keep a firm grip on the promises that keep us going. God always keeps his word. Hebrews 10:23. Guys, what a powerful moment that was for me. I don't know if you feel like that because you weren't in the situation and you weren't going through those emotions, those really deep emotions and doubts and asking God why, you know, and this shows up at my door. This was so powerful for me. It was God speaking to me. And I knew it. I knew exactly what that was for. I knew that was a promise that I had to hold on to. To me, that was my first, like, seriously powerful, profound affirmation that was so clear to me. And obviously, like, the promise in itself before that but that just kept me going, you know? And all these years later, I married him. And not only married him, but he is the man I had always prayed for in what I wanted in a husband, what I wanted in him. The leader of the household, you know, strong in his faith and his relationship with God, hardworking, smart, sensitive, caring, helpful, communicating. He is everything that I had asked for. And he wasn't always that either. You know, I had years of praying, years of waiting. He had to grow. Both had to grow. I had to grow too. Yeah, basically my marriage, him, everything was God speaking to me throughout the years, and I had to hold on to my faith and my prayers and be very prayerful. Okay, second time, God, it's a little left field and it's not like a very positive thing. So, for those of you who don't know, I don't have contact with my real dad, and the last time I saw him or spoke to him, I was 15, but I was turning 16. I remember it was right before my sweet 16. And I'm now 29. I really don't want to bash him. I don't know if he'll ever see this, but basically there was a lot of unhealthy things that went on, a lot of emotional damage, a lot of manipulation, a lot of just dysfunction. And I think also a lot of my family members feel that I blocked a lot of it out, or I was too young to remember things, you know, or that's how I was able to like kind of get past it. But honestly, I remember so many things, and there was a lot that went on that I remember. And I just believe that it was God that got me through that and gave me the actual strength and wisdom to move past it. So we were still in contact with him at this point. My mom had been divorced for quite a few years, but we would see him still. And, you know, there was just a lot of stuff that we had to deal with when we saw him. And so I had that on my shoulders. And I mean, look, it wasn't always bad times. There were good times in my childhood. So I don't want to make it seem like nothing. I had the worst childhood ever. But there was dysfunction. And throughout the years had been very manipulated and very easily forgave and easily, like, I felt bad for him at times, you know, and I just dealt with it for so long. And he was driving me to school one morning, and he was having one of those mornings that he was just being him. And I felt an overwhelming strength that I'd never felt before. And I felt the peace of God. I felt that it had to have been God telling me, Charlotte, when you get out of this car, you gotta go. You gotta go and never look back. And that's it for you. You gotta get out of this. You have to get away from it, and you will be fine, and I will get you through this. Like, you will be okay. Just trust me. You know, you cannot live like this anymore. So I felt like I just jumped out of the car, basically. I jumped out of the car and ran. And I remember he was trying to get me after that, like trying to chase after me, like, and I just ran into my school and hid it. Like, I was like, that's it. I am not gonna do this anymore. I know that, you know, I felt like, I mean, it was very, like, upsetting at that moment, but after time went on, I felt a peace, and I felt like I'm going to be okay. This weight is lifted off of me now, and I'm going to be fine. And that wasn't me. You know, I was the youngest, you know. How was I so strong? You know, I could sit here and say, like, I have strength about me, you know. But honestly, it had to have been God that got me through that. You know, like I said, my family just thinks I blocked things out, but I know everything, and I remember everything. And, you know, God saved me from that. And I don't want to get emotional. It's just I don't really think about this time in my life often. And I almost wish that I maybe said something to him. Because I went. I didn't really say anything. And But I felt in that moment I couldn't, because I didn't want to get sucked in. I just wanted to go. Anyway, I still pray for him occasionally, and I wish him the best. And, you know, I don't know if I'll ever see him again or, you know, mend things. I'm not bitter. I'm not angry with him. I don't hold anything against him. You know, I hope God works in his life and he becomes, you know, a better man. There's a strength in God. And if any one of you are in an unhealthy relationship or any dysfunction, or whether it's mental, physically, or, you know, a teacher, a friend, a family member, anyone, and you feel like it is not okay, the situation is not okay, and it's unhealthy for you, and it's crippling you, and it's weighing on you, and it's affecting your mental health, then you need to get out of it. And it's going to be okay first, but there is going to be a way out. It won't be in that forever, and I just pray, and I hope that you pray that you will get out of it, and there will be a way, because God will make a way for you. And just know that whatever is going on, as bad as it can be, it's It's going to make you a stronger person, and you're going to get through it. Maybe you can help someone in the future. But point being, you have to get out of it, and you have to tell someone that you trust, and just pray that God gives you the strength. And He will. Because maybe I had to go through all that pain and all that suffering and having to, you know, not speak to him, my father, for this long, to be able to relate to someone else and maybe tell you that it's going to be okay and you're going to get through it. And, you know, you can't feel sorry for everyone. You can't live your life for other people. You have to live for yourself and for your destiny and for what's healthy for you. It's going to be good. It's going to be okay. Promise you. I'm somewhat normal, I know. Things happen in life, but you're going to get out of it and it's going to make you stronger. So, okay. Moving on to a more positive note. The next profound moment in my life where I felt very strongly that God was speaking to me about is what I'm doing right now. And this platform, YouTube. And I'm very excited to make this video too, because as you know, in my one of my videos, vision boards, I was talking about, you gotta, most people talk about their success when they have done things and they have credibility, and, that's how they start to talk about how you can do it and stuff. So I feel so strongly about it and passionate about it and confident about it enough that I'm going to say to you, like, this is my destiny. I don't have it in front of me, but I believe I joined YouTube in 2009, and I didn't make videos then. I just kind of joined to like watch videos, so I had to have a name. I think it was 2013 that I put out my first video. I'm gonna write it in here because I don't remember, but that's when I first started. So 13, 5 years ago. I'm gonna write it. Anyway, a long journey, right? And regardless of the fact that my content was crap, probably, my video quality, my confidence was low, I wasn't consistent, all that, regardless of it, it's still been a long process. And for this many years, one might get discouraged. One might think, okay, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. And, but, I knew that this was something that I wanted to do. I felt very passionate about it, even though I wasn't doing it consistently, even though I didn't even know what I wanted to do in it, making the makeup videos and stuff, like, even though that wasn't even my thing, I just kind of wanted to get into it. It was a creative outlet. It was fun. I liked filming. I didn't know exactly what I was going to do. And I felt it in my heart. I said, I don't know. I just feel very strongly about this. I feel like this is something that I could really do. So even though God never directly said, Charlotte, YouTube, that's it, in ways He kind of has, and I want to share them, like the affirmations. So I'm going to name drop, and I never thought I was going to ever mention this or these names, because why would I? But I feel like it's really important too in this video, because I'm not saying it to sound cool, even though it is kind of cool. These people, whether or not they are subscribed to me anymore or follow me anymore, at one point they have. And to me, I take it as affirmations from God that I'm going in the right direction. That's what I'm trying to get at here. So, okay, first time, I wrote it down. So when Instagram first came out, was basically around the time frame I was making videos, and it was still very new to people that weren't into social media, or like Instagram had just come out, so it wasn't as popular, but there was a large group on YouTube, obviously. But anyway, yeah, I was still like insecure about it and unsure, and so around this time, okay, so the first person that had followed me, that what now is really big on YouTube, is It's My Ray Ray. I don't know if you know her. Put her name in a link down below. And she didn't have a YouTube then. Her first video was how to rip your jeans up or something like that. Anyway, she followed me on Instagram and liked my stuff and even commented. I'm not sure if she followed me or subscribed to my channel, but Point being is she's super successful now on YouTube, like very successful. She's beautiful, you know, great personality, and yeah. So I think she unfollowed me on Instagram when she blew up and everything, and I'm not even like bitter about it. It's, I look at it like, okay, this person at one point, I had, even though my Instagram was probably looked like crap then, and my videos were not up to par, something made her follow me. Do you know what I mean? And that to me was like a affirmation. Okay, the next person is Erica Faye, and she's still very supportive. I mean, occasionally she'll comment and stuff, and if you don't know her channel, please check it out. She is so amazing. Her work and her content has always been top-notch to me. Just, she's innovative, she's creative, she's strong, she's talented, she's beautiful. She's just an overall awesome person, I feel like, and I just have a connection with her. And she's, I think, just below 100,000 subscribers. So, I mean, she's successful on YouTube, and she has supported me in some way. So to me, that is a blessing. I don't take lightly these things. Like, I'm very grateful for that and for any support. So anyway, check out her channel. She's amazing. The next thing, which this is kind of crazy to me now, it's that I think about it. Okay, Laura Lee. Laura Lee has, I think, over 2 million subscribers on YouTube. We were following each other on YouTube and Instagram. I think she still follows me on Twitter. Which, I mean, what, a couple years ago, before she blew up. First of all, I don't know any YouTuber that has worked harder than her. Literally, she'd put out a video every day. Every day. And she was like fearless. Like, she would just put up, you know, pictures on Instagram and different things. Like, she would literally just do her thing. She just made it happen. And so, long story short, this person who is so successful has followed me. Even though she's not subscribed to me anymore, and I don't even think she follows me on Instagram anymore. Like, it doesn't matter. Somebody like that who is so successful, who I saw from the beginning, you know, how is that not an affirmation for me? Like, that's motivation for me. That's like, look at how, Nicole Guerrero just shouted her out in one of her vlogs. Like, what? But like that, how is that not from God? Like, I'm sorry, but I take that, like, that's an affirmation. Like, Charlotte, you're on the right path. Okay. I was in the city in Soho on one rainy night, randomly, and I walked into Zara, and this video is going to be so long. So I walked into Zara, and I'm shopping, and I turn around, and I see this face, this very familiar face, and I knew her, but I just wasn't sure. It was Shameless Maya, okay? But at this point, she shaved her head, and it was blue. And the last time that I had watched her video, she had long, dark, curly hair, like her natural hair. So I was subscribed to her, but there was a period of time where I had just missed her videos, didn't watch them anymore, you know, whatever, I just haven't seen her videos. So I didn't know she shaved her head and it was blue. And I'm like, I have to go up to her. So I was like, are you Shameless Maya? And I, at the time, had my vlogging camera, which is a piece of crap. And I have the vlog, I'll link it down below it, or you could watch it. And she's like, yeah. And she was so nice, so amazing. And I was like, can I film you? Like, so I filmed it. She said hi, and she asked what my channel was, and obviously she didn't follow me, or first of all, my name. I didn't have a business card or anything. And, you know, but she was like, oh, you're so pretty. I'm like, so anyway, yeah, that was that, right? I went home at night, and I started watching her videos. I literally binge watched her videos all night. And I was so mad at myself that I didn't keep up with her videos and couldn't tell her, like, you are amazing. You are so freaking amazing, and you have inspired me in so many ways. That's what I wish I got to say to her in person. I will one day, though. Yeah, so that night, I was, oh my God, like, I felt so, like, her videos were so powerful to me. It was God. It was God in that moment, meeting her randomly in Zara in Soho on a rainy you know, weekday, weeknight or whatever. And, you know, it was a reason why I met her at that time, and then I watched her videos that night and was sparked to continue my channel, sparked and ignited to just do what God's telling me to do and challenge myself and stay motivated and stay positive, and it's gonna get better. And I was amazed. I was literally amazed. She's so successful now. She moved to California. She is doing her thing. She's actually having something coming up, and I wish I could go, but it's in California. Anyway, so that was God. That was an affirmation for me, regardless if she didn't follow me or not. I met her for a reason, and I'm taking that. I'm taking that and holding on to that. So I love her. Anyway, that same week, or maybe like a week later, I remember shopping in the mall, and I specifically remember it, and I look at my Instagram, and Rosita Applebum, well, it's now Beauty by Rosita, but she had followed me on Instagram, and she liked a bunch of my pictures, and I was like, Beauty by Rosita just followed me, like, how cool is that? So I shouted her out, and she still follows me, but, you know, she's super successful on YouTube too, and I was subscribed to her, and so, like, that same time frame, like, okay, another affirmation, Charlotte, YouTube, keep going, like, doesn't matter, don't worry about numbers, don't worry about, you know, where you're at, don't worry about, you know, the money you have or what you lack, just keep going. A couple weeks later, I am getting my nails done in the Bronx. My husband's home. Babe, I'm almost done, I need you to leave. Okay, I had to come into my room because my husband just got home, and I film in front of him sometimes, but I don't know. I was just so into this that I just felt like, all right, I'm going into another room. Okay, where was I? Rosita put up a picture of like a nail salon that she went to, and I was like, oh my gosh, finally, like I'm gonna go there. It's not too far. It's in the Bronx, and people can't do nails on Long Island like normally, like where I'm from, like where I am, no one. So I'm like, I'm going there. Let's go there. Me and my best friend went one afternoon. I think it was like a Tuesday, and so I walk in and she's there. I'm like, are you kidding me? And I wonder if she thinks like I was stalking her or something. Like as if I knew when she was going. But anyway, so I said hi to her and I did my nails, and when she left, she's like, bye Charlotte. So she knew who I was, obviously. What are the chances? Like she follows me, and then even though she goes to that salon, like the chances that we were there at the same time, you know what I mean? Like to me, I was just like, wow, like, I don't know. I just took it like God just keeps giving me these little things, like these little affirmations, like keep going, like there's, you know, something about you, Charlotte, like don't get insecure, don't, you know, focus on what you don't have, and, you know, just keep pushing. Like, and to me, I just find it really cool that I keep getting affirmations and God keeps speaking to me. And I mean, I think it also has to do with being in tune with God. You kind of have to really like channel that. So shout out to you, Rosita, if you watch this. Oh, the last person is LYNETTE. I can't say her last name. CENÉE? You're right. LYNETTE. She's very successful on YouTube too, and she actually still follows and is subscribed to me, and she's supportive too, and she likes my stuff, which is really cool. And she's really talented and really just a genuine person. I really love her stuff, and I find this like very strong connection with her, and I hope to meet her one day. But anyway, so just another person, like, and I think that was a more recent thing too. So constantly, you know, regardless of, you know, me being in the under 10,000 range of subscribers, I'm still getting noticed in some ways. And I don't mean it to sound narcissistic or like prideful. It's more of like it's for me to stay focused. And I'm very grateful for all those people, regardless if they follow me or not anymore. The fact that they were kind enough to acknowledge me in some way, and God brought them into my life for a reason. Even if it was for a brief moment, you know what I mean? You got to take these things, you can't get upset over things, and you got to look at it like that. So that's it for the name dropping. So affirmations and direction, yeah. that's really it. Those are the moments in my life where I just felt God speaking to me, and he's constantly speaking to me. But those three things, those three categories of like my career and the having to give up and get away from a bad situation, and then finding my husband, you know, and waiting on that. Those are really, I think, those are very pivotal moments for me. Like moments in my life where you got to make decisions, or moments in your life where you can give up or get discouraged, or just really things in my life that have shaped who I am. And right now, I'm currently going through the process of one of them right now. So it's just hopefully encouraging to you if you're in the process of fighting for something, or being prayerful about something, or your career, or what you want to do in life. You know, my advice, my personal advice for you is to be aware of your surroundings and who you are, and really try to develop your character, work on yourself, pray for strengths, pray for your strengths and your weaknesses, pray for clarity and wisdom, pray for the supernatural strength and for peace. Don't make decisions unless you have peace about them. That's very important. Me and my husband constantly pray this prayer every morning during our prayer, that God would open the doors that he wants opened and close the doors that he wants closed. That's very key too, because a lot of doors can open and it won't all be God. You have to ask God to close the doors that he wants you to, you know what I mean? And that's actually very important, and it's working in our lives. Like it's happening, and it's cool to see. Keep your eyes open for signs, for affirmations. Pray that God would lead you in a direction, and those things are what are going to lead you. He's going to bring people in and out of your life. Some people are going to help you grow. Some people can hinder you. You have to be very aware of that, and aware of yourself and your surroundings, and just take in all the gifts that he's giving you and all the signs that he's showing you and leading you towards, and follow it. And if you get off track, get back on track. You got to be obedient, you got to be prayerful, and you're going to make mistakes, but it's going to be okay. And that's really what I wanted to say, you know, because there's your way, God's way, and somewhere in between, which a lot of us are that. And you know, whenever you feel yourself going the other way, you just gotta check yourself. I was very fortunate enough that God really protected me in a lot of situations, and really kind of pulled the reins when he needed me to get back on track, because I know I have a destiny and a purpose to fulfill in my life. And I know you guys have one too. So I hope this is encouraging to you. I hope that you feel some kind of strength from this, and some motivation and hope. And that's, if this video today can bring anything to you, I'm so blessed and so excited for you, because I know there's a reason for everything, and people, if I could be used in some way to shed light on something for you, and God can speak through me to you, then that's amazing. I'm so glad we have a connection, and that's what I want for this channel. I want a very intimate connection with you guys and you ladies, and to just feel comfortable enough with me. And I will be praying for you guys, and pray for me, and I love you, and I'll see you in my next video.